It's groups like Shit Reddit Says or SRS that are working hard to make sure the internet isn't funny anymore.
And we're going to show you just how not funny they can be.
SRS's destruction of free speech is worst right on their own subreddit, where any dissent is quickly deleted and banned.
And that's actually an official policy of the subreddit. They call it Rule X.
They say it's because they want a safe place to criticize the site, but we say it's because they're jerks.
If you come to SRS to let them know that you weren't offended, you might get a cookie or a piece of toast.
However, come in with an argument a little more substantive, say an argument along the lines of, get a sense of humor, you dumb bitch, and you're likely to get hit by a ban made of purple dildos. Or Easter dildos. Or angelic dildos.
Devil dildos, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle dildos, tuxedo dildos.
Dongzilla, Sailor Moon dildos. You might even get hit in the face with a dildo. Ouch. Only moderators can ban people, though, so a certain special someone from the distant past is practically an SRS mascot.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Continue waiting. Just hold on. We're almost there.
First posted in 2009 on website Something Awful, this frog is derived from a very strange stuffed animal that was, no kidding, in a porn photo shoot.
And the Get Out frog is just one of the ways that SRS is combating free speech and men's rights on Reddit.
They've got over 74 different graphics you can use within the subreddit, and here are just a few of the worst offenders.
Women are hard to understand.
As are black people and human emotions like empathy.
But Redditors are so smart and logical.
And SRS brings them down a peg by comparing them to robots.
Unrequited love is something that most of us have or will experience in our lifetimes.
But Redditors experience something a little bit tougher than unrequited love.
They are placed within the friend zone.
If you're wondering what the difference is, unrequited love is something that you do. You love someone who doesn't love you back.
But when she places you in the friend zone, that's something that she is doing to you.
And how heartless. The nerve of these women to not have sex with guys that are nice to them.
It's hard.
We mean difficult.
It is difficult to be so nice and so giving without expecting anything except for sex in return.
It is so hard.
We mean difficult.
But it happens all the time to Redditors.
And to crush these men's spirits even further, SRS has created this graphic.
SRS is so sick, they even hate Good Guy Greg.
Good Guy Greg is a character that embodies conscientiousness and courtesy. Here he is, being a good guy by not raping someone.
That's Reddit's standard. Not raping someone qualifies you to be Good Guy Greg.
This cookie over here is what SRS gives you for meeting the minimum standards of being a decent human being. SRS also frequently targets the seduction community on Reddit, just because their advice sometimes consists of telling guys to rape women.
So one of the problems SRS has with Reddit is that the top upvoted response to any picture that includes a woman is an evaluation of her fuckability.
And of course, that's always the most popular response.
It is a man's biological imperative to fuck as many women as possible all the time, even if the woman is dead and decomposing.
Number one comment on those photographs. That's a bio truth, and SRS has a graphic for that too.
At the very least, there is some hope that this great rift between SRS and mainstream Reddit, they agree that child pornography should not be allowed on the site. Okay, hold on. I am being told that a lot of Redditors see a blanket ban on sexual pictures of children as a really serious free speech issue.
Oh, and Redditors also support the idea that being a homosexual and being a pedophile are morally equivalent.
And that's an argument for keeping around sexual pictures of children, because taking it down is like oppressing gay people.
Reddit?
That is fucked up!
We're all for jokes on the internet, but child porn? And equating love between two consenting adults to hurting children, children that have neither the mental, physical, or legal ability to defend themselves, let alone give consent? I don't think I can overstate the degree to which this rustles my jimmies.
There is a happy ending to this last story, kind of. Reddit has finally banned sexual pictures of children, but they were very careful to explain that they weren't making a moral, ethical, or legal judgment about child porn.
They were just instituting a blanket ban because child pornography, quote, is a toxic and unique case for internet communities, and we're protecting Reddit's ability to operate by removing this threat.
The last thing we're going to say about Reddit tonight is this. We actually love Reddit.
Mike and I are Redditors.
When I open my browser, my default tabs are Reddit and Gmail.
Reddit Secret Santa is officially my favorite part of Christmas. I've been a volunteer rematcher 2 years in a row.
And all the horrible shit we've talked about doesn't take away from the wonderful things Reddit has done and continues to do.
But all that wonderful stuff doesn't take away from the awful shit either.
Reddit and Redditors, what we're trying to say is this. You should know better. 4chan is a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
But Reddit isn't, and that's what makes all the shit Reddit says so surprising and unpleasant. They specifically target white supremacist, misogynist, fatphobic, anti-gay shit that gets upvoted, that Reddit actually approves of.
Redditors fulfill the promise of Reddit gifts, of indeed the Reddit community in general. Be generous, considerate, thoughtful.
Love thy neighbor.
And for fuck's sake, if the punchline to your hilarious joke is, LOL, this person is not white or straight or male or born to their gender or able-bodied, write a different joke.
And I can't believe that I'm about to say this, but no child porn.
No child porn.
No.
After all, everyone faces obstacles and challenges. We don't need to make each other's lives any more shitty or difficult.
Though the internet has a way of taking the edge off.
Of celebrating our shortcomings and failures.
The internet, like much of the country,
and in actuality, probably much of the world,
they have a strange kind of love for things done poorly.
We all love all kinds of things done poorly.
We are connoisseurs of crap. We are lovers of all things second-rate, half-done,
embarrassingly unpolished, unflatteringly incomplete.
The surprising part really is the sheer number of ways something can be done poorly.
The sheer number of ways we can experience, if you'll permit me, scheiden internet.
There is the long-standing and easily recognized love we all have of watching someone fall down.
This, for us at least, was probably cemented as an acceptable form of entertainment way back in our childhood by YouTube precursor,
America's Funniest Home Videos. Wait. No. Yeah.
That looks better.
We've got laughs from coast to coast to make you smile. A real life look at each of you to capture all that style. You're the red, white, and blue. The fun and things you do. America, America, this is you.
I guess it only makes sense that now,
in the
age of the internet.
there are some pretty popular videos of this same kind of thing.
Still, people falling down in junk just 20 years later.
Dublin City Council says it now has a supply of salt to keep main roads open until early next week. The council also said it would continue to clear pavements, but it's warned that water supplies are now at critically low levels.
It's still dangerous for Dublin pedestrians.
Have you been waiting a long time? Excitement got the better of him when his uncle did arrive.
Some knowing O's in the audience.
one, just a single way of rejoicing at the embarrassment.
And in certain cases, yes, the severe injury of others.
But what if those injuries were not strictly, let's say, physical?
No, güey. ¡Ya, güey! ¡Pinche pendejo, güey! ¡Ya! ¡Pinche vato, güey! ¡De nada, güey! ¡Pinche vato! ¡Ya, güey! ¡Ya, güey! ¡Por favor, idiota!
Ah, te bañaste.
¡Ya pendejo, idiota!
Oh, Edgar's fall is old news by now. This happened around 2006.
But he's kind of the original example of an overeager willingness to exploit some poor schmo's embarrassing moments for worldwide enjoyment. Edgar, because of his fall, was taken all over the place.
He was put on TV. He was put on the news. Him and his family.
Staring the country, the world, in the eye and being all, yup.
I fell down.
It's easy to imagine that Edgar maybe whet the appetites of the news media when they figured out that they, too, were allowed to report on people falling down.
No longer was this territory solely coverable by Bob Saget and all 10,000 of his terrible voices for family pets.
I mean, Edgar might be why Jesse Slaughter ended up on the news.
Edgar might be why Perry Aftab has a job.
Perry Aftab is an internet safety expert and the executive director of WiredSafety.org. Perry, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt.
Reprehensible, repulsive, fill in the blank with your own adjective here, but it's not illegal, is it?
Well,
Jeff said that this.
Edgar might have even indirectly encouraged this.
for over a year now, she's been the victim of internet trollers. Pictures of her have appeared on this Facebook page. It's entitled, "Don't Listen to the Guy Above Me, He Has Down Syndrome." She's also been put on another Facebook page, which is more sexually explicit.
You just feel sick and sad that people have got so little respect or sort of human kindness, really, that they can do something like this.
Until yesterday, Heidi, who's from Coventry, had been shielded from the truth about the trollers. But with her parents trying to get wider support to have the pages taken off Facebook, they felt they couldn't keep it a secret any longer.
I think it's preposterous.
Well, with us now is Professor Ellis Cashmore, who's a Professor of Culture, Media and Sport at Staffordshire University. Thanks for joining us this evening. We do seem to be hearing more and more, don't we, of the dark side of the internet.
The trollers, yeah. I mean, it's a difficult question to answer what motivates people like this. Intentional malice isn't quite enough. I imagine that there are people who don't command any authority or respect from their friends in everyday life, and out of their frustration with their own insignificance, they decide to try to distinguish themselves. And one way they can do this with a fair degree of confidence that they won't be found out is on social media sites.
The issue is delicate, isn't it? None of us would argue that large portions of the internet wouldn't benefit from some sensitivity training.
But a lot of us would argue that those same folks who could probably be a little nicer weren't really targeting anyone specific in this case.
I mean, yes, it's mean to make fun of someone who has Down syndrome, but it's also mean to call someone a scumbag.
Did Blake Boston not end up on the nightly news because he's not actually a scumbag?
Or because being a scumbag is not a matter of developmental differences?
I mean, probably not, on either account.
We're not saying that having Down syndrome is comparable to being incorrectly labeled a scumbag.
What we are saying, though, is that this idea of targeting is so complicated, especially as it relates to I can count a potato.